thank you for joining me for another episode of The Leftovers. Um, in last week's episode of Soulful Sundays, we touched on Tantric Healing and how that may be something that you all are needing to explore or is of sudden interest for you as you are integrating your masculine and feminine energies, as well as just expanding your horizons and learning like different ways to um, elevate your consciousness and to connect with the Most High. And so I wanted to make sure with the leftovers that I am more particular about what that looks like. When it comes to Tantra, the mass media has a way of sensationalizing things in a way that barely touches the freaking surface. And so when you see things of a tantric nature on the big screen, it's kind of like orgies and classes where they touching and rubbing all on each other and whatnot. And don't get me wrong, that's like part of it. That's something that you can explore. But you also can explore Tantra by yourself, just by tapping into your senses, enjoying each of your five senses in everyday mundane things. So like in the play class that I taught this past week, one of the sisters was sharing that she was reading this black erotica book, and it's a compilation of like essays and poems and just different creative expressions around erotica and tantra. And one of her favorites was one called, oh man, I can't think of the name of it, but it has something to do with oranges. And so she was saying how this poem or this essay, it was such an erotic expression of just buying oranges, picking out oranges, like feeling the firmness of the orange, the vibrancy of the colors, smelling the citrus scent of it. And it was a turn on. It was stimulating, the way that it was worded and the pictures that were being, the mental pictures that were being painted as you read about the experience of just buying oranges. It's that type of thing. It's like making love opposed to bang 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 ski ski ski. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's about being present and breathing your way through things and making an orgasmic experience out of everyday experiences, or your time alone, or your time with your partner, as you connect and use your creative energy together to create something totally divine and brand new. So some things that you can do to work with tantric healing or work with healing your sexual energy. There's breath work that you can do. Fire breaths. Fire breaths go something like and just continue to do that as you cultivate that creative energy within you. Or tantric yoga, which is sensual, like exploring and expressing your sensuality in your movement and ode to the Most High. Or kundalini yoga, which is all about tapping into your creative energy in like an in-depth way, tapping in deeper into your creative energy. For many of you, this message is coming up because you're experiencing a kundalini awakening. A kundalini awakening being that energy that is said to lie at the core of your back, at your tailbone, that is stuck, and it's levels to it. You will for a lot of people, go through more than one Kundalini or rising or Kundalini awakening. But when you go through it, it's that energy surging up your spine to your other chakras, expanding your creative energy and allowing you to not only express yourself more creatively, but also connect with higher realms. And it enhances your other chakra. So you definitely want to tap into I gotta sneeze. There you go. Bless me. You definitely want to tap into those modalities of healing. Trying to think of some other ways to work with tantra. Sex magic, when you're masturbating or when you're having sex with your divine partner or whoever it is that you are connecting with sexually, using creative visualization as you climax in order to manifest what you desire. If you know how strong your sexual energy is, and you and your partner both have strong sexual energy, you've done some work, you've done some healing, you have an understanding of how valuable sexual energy is and how it is the expression of God in you. And then the two of you agree on what it is that you want to manifest. And as you are in the act of love making, as you are in the act of having sex and co-creating, both of you are creatively visualizing that house you want, healing in the world, those children that you want, that vacation that you want. You are literally manifesting in that act as you both climax during the act of having sex and connecting with each other in that way. So let us not cheapen our sexual experiences by wasting our creative energy. Another way to work with your sexual energy is to just be reflective of what you like, how you like it, when you like it, and with who you like it with. Because what you may find is that either you're boring and that may be, and this is no laughing matter, but that may be because you have stifled your sexual energy or your innate ability to explore sexually or be open sexually in some way because of some sexual trauma that you've experienced. Or even if, like, say you're the type of person who likes it rough, you may want to take some time to explore whether that's just like an innocent desire that you like, which is nothing wrong with, to each his own, or does that desire derive from some sexual trauma that you've experienced? Have you been sexually abused in some way that having rough sex mimics? You know what I'm saying? You want to explore the foundation, the motive, the why. You know what I'm saying? Because that is very important as you move forward intentionally using your sexual energy to manifest positivity in your life, to manifest your heart's desires. But those are the type of things, subjects and practices that we're needing to explore, that many of you may be encouraged or motivated to explore at this time. For some of you, like I said, in Soul Food Sundays, it may be a matter of some repressed sexuality where you like someone of the same sex or multiple people or whatever the case, and you don't feel comfortable with living in your truth, expressing that to other people because of fear of condemnation or what other people got to say. We are very much in a time where, how I've been observing this energy, that it's like with this Cancer energy, we're giving birth to a lion. You know what I'm saying? Leo season is coming up. Leo season being all about tapping into your royalty, your royal nature, being lion-like, being confident, being bold, being creative. And the experiences that we are having are preparing us for tapping deeper into that energy. So we are literally giving birth to a lion, to the lion within us. And just like with a human birth, you know, they say if you have heartburn while you pregnant, that means your baby got a lot of hair on their head. Have you seen a lion's mane? And that is why we are experiencing some emotional upheaval, and some discomfort as it relates to our heart chakra, because we're giving birth to a lion, and there are some things that need to be healed as we develop and give birth, as that baby prepares to come down the birth canal. And so it is my prayer that you guys are doing that work. And what I wanted to tap a little more into is one of the cards that came out during the last week's episode of Soul Food Sunday, which was initiation, because I want to be able to provide Isis's perspective of what you're going through, this spiritual testing of Ra and the Lady Isis. And then I'm going to pull from the Goddess Power Oracle, because another thing we're being led to do, whether you are male or female, is tap into and heal your divine feminine energy. Really reflecting and paying attention to where you may be thriving or moving throughout your life in toxic feminine energy, and integrating that with your masculine energy to where you're a more balanced, integrated being. Nurturing yourself, being more caring, being more a better steward of, and being better expressive of your emotions, being receptive and open, and not trying to control and boss everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, tapping more into your divine feminine energy, whether you are a man or a woman. And so like I said, we're gonna look more into initiation, spiritual testing, Ra and the Lady of Isis, and then pull from the Goddess Power Oracle. And I promise I'm not gonna be before you long, because I have a personal reading scheduled in less than an hour, and I like to have time to tap in privately before I tap in with my clients and provide a healing service or hold space. So definitely want to make sure not to be before you long. I'm just looking for the page. It says, when you are being spiritually initiated into the mysteries of light, love, and power, there are moments of deep challenge. This key is to find the light within the challenge, the learning, growth, or wisdom that can be summoned to turn the challenge into an opportunity for healing. Whilst the scorching heat of Ra seeks to burn through any resistance, the Lady Isis, with compassion and cleverness, will protect you from burning and instead enable you to be nourished and grow from the light of Ra. Let Isis help you pass the test of intense growth as you thrive with new life. For advanced aspirants on the path, initiation will occur at various stages. Sometimes your entire life will feel like an initiation. At other times, specific areas will be flowing easily whilst others are deeply challenged. This oracle comes as confirmation that you are not needlessly suffering. If you can find the light within the struggles, tests, or challenges that face you, you will experience breakthrough healing. Understand that everything that you are going through is divinely orchestrated to teach you a lesson. And if you are intentional and committed to surrendering and learning that lesson, opposed to doing things the way that you used to do them, or making excuses for why you show up the way you show up, and actually seek the light in your dark circumstances, open to the help that is available to you, you will find that what you're experiencing now is the thing that you're needing to overcome in order to elevate and move into the next more profound and prosperous chapter of your life. But you gotta step out there. You gotta be open to the experience. You gotta surrender. It is the almost unbearable solar fire of Ra that can cleanse the soul of wounds, and the love, compassion, intelligence of Isis that can temper the heat of Ra and stop it from burning and drying you out. Or else you would be left with nothing but emptiness, anger, bitterness, and despair in your heart. If you're not familiar with Ra, Ra is the sun god. And the sun serves its purpose. The sun brings us clarity. The sun brings us life force energy. The sun brings us heat. And the sun represents our ego. But too much ego will fuck you off. Your ego serves a purpose. But the problem that many of us have is that we're operating in our ego far too much. Because it's what the Matrix has taught us. It's what mass media has taught us. It's what has been passed down within our ancestral line as the thing that protects us, to show up with all of this bravado and me, and be focused on material things and not as invested in the spirit. But what this message is saying is that you need love. You need the spirit and the ego to be able to work together, and not the ego dominating the spirit, because you'll bring on yourself bitterness and despair and conflict every time. These are not meant to be the outcomes of life challenges. Rather than losing love and hope through the challenges of life, the initiate understands all aspects of life are growth opportunities in various states of disguise waiting to be discovered. As an initiate, this oracle urges you to honor life as a gift and treat any challenge or pressure as a way for you to grow into a brighter and purer light capable of great spiritual service on this planet. That spiritual service includes growing an ability to be able to love freely and beyond limits, to love with courage and faith. In fact, initiation for you now, dear, is an opening to a new level of power and peace, self-possession, and love. There are such sweet fruits waiting for you at the top of the tree that you are currently climbing. It may seem as though you are in a barren land at times with little hope, nourishment, or encouragement. Yet your spiritual oasis is not far away. The Lady Isis and the power of Ra together are helping you grow. Stay focused on the lady and her love for you, and you shall pass through the desert of initiation unharmed and deeply transformed. There's an incantation at the end of this that I'm going to recite. If you like, you can rewind and copy it so that you're able to use it as part of your healing. But it says, Winged Mother protects me from the fiercest light, shelters me in cool sanctuary of her wings in flight, wraps me in safety of her compassion and peace, as with trust the portal of initiation I reach. I pass through the portal with trust complete. I now successfully attain this feat. Y'all, allow Lady Isis and Ra to help you balance your ego with your spirit self. Teach you to love instead of allowing your ego to take over and create conflict and chaos. It's time out for all that bragging and boasting and the trying to impress people with material things or with how much you know, and meanwhile you don't live the life that you talk about. You don't embody or exemplify the information that you've shown you have. That makes you look like a fool, because what that says is you know better, but you're choosing not to do better. It's not cute. We are to live as individuals who have knowledge and wisdom. It's not okay to just have the knowledge, but you have not lived it in order to have the experience that you can and the lesson that you can share with others. And so we want to be mindful of being knowledgeable but not being wise. So as we are being intentional about healing and embodying divine feminine energy, let's see what the goddesses have to say. Spirit, please clarify the message. of divine feminine energy coming forth for the collective at this time. What message do you have for the collective? All of a sudden, now that I'm channeling, my nose is running like crazy. Creative spark. Number 8, Bridget. As we are moving into the 8-8 portal, now being in full effect of the Syrian gateway, we are to absolutely be intentional about harnessing this energy and working with this energy, because it's going to enhance our creative energy, our creative spark. You're going to be having all kinds of innovative ideas and forms of creative expression beaming from you. If you write music, this is the perfect time to write. If you write poems, this is the perfect time to write. If you create art in any way, this is the perfect time to invest in your craft and tap into new creative avenues. Creative energy is sexual energy. That is why these sexual traumas are coming up to be healed. That's why people are being more interested in Tantra and working with sexual energy. Because that is the dominant energy of this time as we are in the summer season, ruled by the sun. At the top of the deck, we have Epona. What did I say about that knowledge and wisdom? Wise leadership, represented by the number 14, which breaks down to a 5, because the changes that are taking place, the initiation that you are going through, you're dealing with all this upheaval, and it's one thing after another coming up for you, because it's molding you into a wise leader, someone who doesn't just know facts, numbers, colors, you know what I'm saying, that can just regurgitate and recite and repeat some shit they read in a book, but can actually speak from experience. Wise leadership, someone who's willing to stand out from the crowd and lead the pack, opposed to being a follower. Someone who's independent and not codependent. And at the bottom of the deck, Kali, represented by the number 7, as we are in the energy of the 7-7 portal. Baby, when you see Kali, walls will fall, heads will roll, things will end, because Kali represents endings and new beginnings. Endings, things that have kept you hostage, have held you hostage, or kept you captive, be they external or internal. Beginnings that are liberating. The other day, America celebrated Independence Day. I don't know whose independence they were celebrating, because depending upon your consciousness, your level of consciousness, and your mindset, depending upon the workings of the machine, the matrix, they don't want none of us free. They don't want us having the information that empowers us to be sovereign beings. They want us to follow their rules and be under their thumbs and be their zombies. To believe whatever they tell us is true. To do whatever they tell us to do. They want us to pay taxes. They want us to look the same way. They want us to practice the religions that they say we can practice. They want us to be religious and not be spiritual. They want us to read books and gain knowledge and not live that life. They don't want us to be about that life. You can read about it all you want to, but how dare you get out here and act like a free being? We're going to lock your ass up. But God is saying, the goal is liberation. And God's people will be free. And it starts within your soul. When you can be a spiritually sovereign being, this world does not stand a chance. People place so much focus on their enemies. Let me tell you something. When you are a sovereign being, you know that your enemies do not stand a chance. They have no hold on you. Your fears have no hold on you. Your past traumas have no hold on you, because you are a liberated being. You understand your power. You understand that you have the ability to heal yourself as a wise leader, as a healer. So I hope that this message found you guys well. If it didn't find you well, I hope that it leaves you well. As I've mentioned before, I'll be having oral surgery on July 8th, Friday, July 8th, and I am not sure how long recovery will take, but I know it won't be in my best interest to be doing a lot of talking. And so I'm going to take whatever time is required for me to fully heal. I will possibly be doing some written readings once I'm at a point where I'm not in any pain. And so be on the lookout for that. If you haven't signed up to my subscribe to my website, feel free to do so that you can get those updates. Check me out on Instagram. But as of right now, my books are closed until I heal. I'm gonna try to keep up with Soul Food Sundays, but again, it just depends on how I'm feeling. So with that being said, y'all, until next time, peace.